Eisner did not have the first graphic novel. He can be credited as having one of the first graphic novels, but not the first graphic novel, primarily because you have to think about what people were making at the time. Classics Illustrated was a 40s and 50s publication that told whole stories that were adaptations, mind you, but they were whole stories that were made for newsstands. Then there was the 128-page It Rhymes with Lust, done by Drake, Waller, and Baker. Those guys made a graphic novel, even though it was for newsstands or book markets. Then you have Gill Kane. Gill Kane had, his name is Savage. He had Black Mark. He had these stories that were done for newsstands made by book publishers that misfired. Like, the book publishers really did a number on it because they printed 500,000 copies, but they only sold 20,000, if that. Then you have Saber with Don McGregor and Paul Gallucci, who preceded like Jim Steranko's Red Tides, which preceded A Contract with God done by Will Eisner. And here, to further top it off, the idea of a graphic novel is hard to lay down, because to me a graphic novel is not a serialized story. It is one thing. It's not a collection either of stories, because that doesn't count to me, because it was made to be read weekly or increments, not like chapters, but actual like separate entities. So to me a graphic novel is in one piece, and is a great body of work in that one piece. That's why Watchmen to me is not the greatest graphic novel of all time. It's the greatest story of all time, but not the greatest graphic novel. It's also one of the best done best done trades, but it's not the greatest story of all time. Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, they had a graphic novel when Jack Kirby returned to Marvel. They worked on the 100-page Silver Surfer. William Borroughs had a graphic novel. Did you know about that? It started in the early 70s. His artist was Malcolm McNeil, and they called it a word picture novel. Well, that's the fun part about this, folks. Not everyone called themselves graphic novels. There were graphic albums. There were visual novels. There were so many things going on that they couldn't nail it down. So Will Eisner gets credit for having the first graphic novel. And it was a very good graphic novel, mind you, but it wasn't the first. Oh, by the way, Ah Pook is here. That's the William Borroughs, Malcolm McNeil story, and it's 50 pages, and it's some of the most beautiful art I've seen in a while.